All right, y'all. Today is Monday. It's Monday, June 16th, 2025. Let me see if I can get the camera focus a little bit better. And today we're going to be going over the trade that I would have taken if I traded live today. I didn't trade today because it was a no news Monday and I really wanted to protect my mental capital. So I didn't trade live today. I also had a very stressful morning. So I just decided to not even open the charts at all, considering my psychological just exposure to the market and the stuff I've been through. I decided not to show up to the markets at all. But I'm gonna go over the technical side of it. Before we get into the technicals, I want to speak on my psychology for today. To be honest with you guys, it's been really, really rough for me trading these past. But it's been rough for me mentally. I've been going through a lot, just blowing accounts, crashing out on the charts, off the charts, just continuously disrespecting myself. It's just a lot. It's been a lot. But going into this week, I really wanted to talk to myself and tell myself that I wanted to make a shift because I'm too far deep into the hole to not be really locked in and taking this shit serious. So this was really my first week of me like, all right, I want to lock in and really take it serious. Why my tire go flat, right? I get boots on my tires this week. I don't have the money. I'm broke from fucking buying and blowing all these fucking accounts. I'm literally working check to check. So now I got a boot on my car. I had to pay to get that fixed. Get them taken off. My tire go flat, so now I got to ride around on the spare. Then my spare tire go flat. My spare tire go flat on me last night. So now I'm stressing as soon as I wake up about how am I going to get a tire before I got to go to work at 11:30. So I already was in a state of financial anxiety and just anxiety and stress overall, right? Keep in mind, I do have a 100K account and a 50K account. And I could have taken trades on that 50K account being that I really don't have too much emotional attachment to it. But I don't want to practice bad habits. If I know I'm waking up on a no news Monday and I already have my own anxiety and stress going on, why would I want to open up the market that's me willingly exposing myself to more emotional stress? You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to do that. So instead of me putting my accounts at risk today, I just putting myself at risk just mentally and emotionally. I decided not to open the charts at all. I just said, fuck it. I'm just going to fix my tire, go to work, and just have a good morning and just not even open the chart because I already know the state of mind that I'm in. Now, the reason why I'm mentioning all this is because, make sure my computer is charging. My reasoning behind mentioning all this is because I know this was the week that I said I'm trying to mentally lock in, and I feel like I personally started off on a bad note, being that I didn't hit the gym, but I can't be too tough on myself for not hitting the gym because I made sure I went on the balcony and did at least 20 dips and 20 push-ups. It's not a lot, but I showed up for myself for the mental capacity that I had. You know what I'm saying? I went to work. You know what I'm saying? I made some money today, and I'm doing my trade breakdowns and my reviews right now. So even though it feels like my mind is trying to sabotage me into believing that I didn't do nothing today, or my mind is trying to sabotage me into thinking that I'm a failure, or I'm a fuck up, or I'm a screw up, or just imposter syndrome, or whatever it's trying to put it in my mind just because I didn't show up to the charts today, when in reality that probably was the best way for me to protect myself and my mental and financial capital. And also, I feel like it shows growth. Me outside of my emotions, outside of my head, talking to my camera, it shows growth. The fact that even though I'm in a financial tight, even though I need money bad, and even though like I'm eager to get an account and get a payout, I still knew myself enough to just be like, all right, I'm not even gonna show up to the charts today. I'm still showing up to work, but I didn't show up to the charts because I knew I had a rough morning. But I managed to get up, change my tire, take my dog for a while. I had enough going on, so I don't gotta feel like just because I didn't show up to the charts, I'm a bad person or I'm a fake trader. I don't have to feel none of that. I did the most smart thing based on my situation. So that's the psychological side of today that I really wanted to discuss. because I've been feeling crazy all day. But I'm really just learning to be like, you know what? It's okay that I didn't trade. It's okay that I didn't show up to the market while it was open live, because I have a history of when I show up to the market stressed, blowing accounts. And I didn't do that today. So even though I want to make a dent in my account, especially because I took it out of drawdown and I'm ready to get a payout, I feel my mind trying to sabotage me into thinking that I didn't do enough today, or I'm a failure today, or I fell off today, or I kind of didn't stick to my word today. And I feel that that's trying to make me show up to the market tomorrow and overtrade and over leverage and rush the process, when I'm glad I'm having a psychological talk with myself now. So when I show up tomorrow, I'm more calm, and I just understand that it's a process. It's up and down. Get what I'm saying? Things, it's no timeline on it, so I just gotta flow with it. And today was one of those days where I just decided to flow with the day instead of force my will and show up to the markets when I just knew like it's not gonna be a good day for me. So that's the psychological side of the day. Let's go to the actual charts and see what happened today. I saw that a lot of people did get good longs on Nasdaq. So let's see what the market would have presented us had we showed up today. So much growth for me to be even looking at a chart right now, and even though it's tempting to just jump into the market and I need a place to try, I need money, it's like, nah, I can show up to the market while it's open and do a trade breakdown review without being too eager to just jump in, because I'm tired of suffering. Not because I don't want to, just because I'm tired of suffering. And it's just like, I'm cool, bro. I'll deal with this shit tomorrow. I don't even feel like being at war right now. I don't even feel like going through this right now. But anyway, coming up to our charts. Right now, based on the 4-hour chart, I do have a bullish bias just because we came down and we seek the sell side liquidity from this level, and since we've taken out this level of liquidity right at a demand level as well, since we've taken that out and we've had nothing but bullish momentum since then, and we're above the previous week high with strong displacement and a strong bullish closure, I'm assuming that we're going to be bearish. I don't see any fair value gaps available. Well, right here, maybe one. I don't know why yeah, I see that fair value gap right there. I don't know why that's not picking that up, but let's see if it picks it up. I see this right here, but let's see if the 1 hour gets it. Okay, I got a 1 hour gap on so I'll mark that up as another level of support. I didn't look at the markets at all today, so this is just all live of me. If I would have traded, what I would have been going through. Okay, so question number 1 would have been, what is my bias? My bias is bullish, right? I still need to let the 9 o'clock candle. All right, hold on, let me go back and check. On the 1 hour, do I see any more key levels? My key level right here, being that I'm bullish, right? But I kind of still got to see where, that 9 o'clock candle gives us. All right. We got plenty of touches at that level. Hold on, I'm still on the 1 hour. I'm bugging. I mean, I knew that they went long today, so it's not about me being right or wrong. It's just about me seeing did my strategy work, you know. All right, so 15. We got to mark up London's highs and London's lows. London's highs right here. London's lows were right here. We had no news today, so I would have been wanting to get in aggressive at the macro. This is at 9:30. All right, so things I'm looking for. Okay, so the reason why I'm drawing this up right now is because I'm looking for, I had a bullish bias, right? I definitely had a bullish bias, but at this point, coming down to the 15 minute, I'm looking for a draw on liquidity. right? So the things I'm looking for is a runner sweep on liquidity, market structure shift, or breaking structure, manipulation or displacement, and a valid break and retest. But I'm also looking for pre-game thought process /analysis, right? My number one is, what is my bias? All right. So what is my bias? Number two is, what is, where is the draw on liquidity, right? All right. So what is my bias and where is the draw on liquidity? When I was looking at this on the hourly time frame, we was already, well, let's go to the 30-minute. Okay. So my immediate draw on liquidity would be London's highs and also the previous week high. I can't show you guys just live because of the, you feel me? This 9 o'clock candle is showing between 9 and 10. So it's showing that we're closing above. But if we would have caught this like right at 9 or maybe around 8 o'clock, it wouldn't have been so strong. So that's why I'm going down to the 30 minutes. So at like 9 o'clock. But I still would have had a bullish bias because it's bullish structure. We're above yesterday's highs, right? We're above yesterday's highs. We're breaking this structure. We've broken structure above this supply level right here. So I'm biased. I'm bullish for the most part. That is my bias, right? Like I said, going to the 1 hour is going to show you the whole move. So at this point, what I want to know is, what is my bias? Is bullish, and where is my draw on liquidity? All right. So looking at it from this point with a bullish bias, my draw on liquidity obviously would be London's highs, but being that it's not really that much distance right here. That's like what, 50 points. That's enough. That's enough to make some money, right? But let me go to 9:45. Let me see what happens. Okay. So the draw on liquidity, we got at 9:30 opening. Our draw on liquidity, London's highs has already been taken out, and our previous week high has already been taken out. So is my bias changing? Is my all right, so now this is at 9:45. This is at 9:45. Wait, 9:45. Okay, cool. So looking at this trade, what am I looking for? Right, I'm looking for a runner sweep on liquidity. This would have been a good trade for to take, I'm not gonna lie. Being that we didn't have news, okay, let me actually say this too. Where's my bias? Where's the draw on liquidity? Do we have news? All right, I'm sorry. That's just something that I needed to get out. All right. So, like I said, I know this is kind of crazy, kind of all over the place, but I want to make sure I'm getting all these ideas out. Okay, what is my bias? My bias is bullish, right? Where's my draw on liquidity? My draw on liquidity was London's highs and the previous week highs. We already have taken out that liquidity before my actual session with the macro had started, and we were disciplined, so we didn't just jump in right then. We wanted to wait up until maybe about 9:45-ish, between 9:42 and 9:45, right? What do we notice before our macro has already started? We noticed that we got our liquidity sweep on London's highs, right? Liquidity sweep, liquidity run. We ran London's highs. So let me mark that up. London's liquidity sweep, liquidity run, right? We got that marked up already, right here. My computer tweaking, y'all. We got this marked up right here, right? We don't have any news, right? So I know I can go ahead and take a setup early in the macro, early and aggressively, because it's a setup available right here, right? We got a market structure shift and a breaking structure. I see this so many different times. Even with it being a no news Monday, today was the day. If I was in my right mind, if I would have showed up, you know, this would have been a clean setup, right? We got a liquidity run. We got a breaking structure towards the upside, We got bullish displacement right here. We got bullish displacement right here, right? And then we also got a valid break and retest of a fair value gap, right? We got everything that we needed to go ahead and take our setup and take our entry. Now, I probably would have gotten in on this entry being that I'm not too rigid, but if we're being disciplined, we want to wait until the macro opens to give us possibly maybe a retest right here. We don't really just know for sure. But if we want to be even more concise, this 3-minute fair value gap, I would want an aggressive entry right here, being that I'm already bullish, being that it's no news. I want to put my stops below this displacement candle, and I don't want to see price go down. I want to see us seek the liquidity from that liquidity resistance right there, being that we already got London's highs and stuff. So boom. We never got tagged in on a 3-minute. However, if we would have kept our entry on a 2-minute, still probably wouldn't have gotten tagged in. Still wouldn't have gotten that aggressive entry. So this would have been interesting, if we being honest. But we see price damn near just, yeah, we hit our profit target. So that entry would have been, that's 945. We didn't get an aggressive entry right there, but if I'm trading this live, I would have taken a break a candle right here, and then I would have made my stops go below this. I would say this fair value gap, but that's a 50-point stop loss, and I know that's kind of OD. So being that we got displacement above this bullish candle, instead of putting the stops all the way below this fair value gap, I could have put my stops below the displacement candle, or even below this manipulation, which is that wick right there. So like 35 pip stop loss maybe right there, 35 pip stop loss, just to be safe, to give the trade as much room as possible, and that's consequent encroachment of that fair value gap. Right, but you guys can see the strategy did work out, right? So we had our liquidity run on London's highs. We had our breaking structure toward the upside with our bullish displacement at 930, right? Price came down. We did get a bullish fair value gap. We did not get a break and retest of this fair value gap, but we did get a break and retest of London's highs. Remember, this serves as a major liquidity support level, resistance level. But right here, this is serving as a major liquidity support level. So even though we didn't get a break and retest of the bullish fair value gap, let me see if we got one on a 1 minute. Was there a 1 minute? I can't say. We did get one on a 1 minute at 952, right? But we can see, even though we didn't get a break and retest of a fair value gap necessarily on the 3-minute chart or the 2-minute chart, we did get a break and retest of London's highs, right? And it serves as a unicorn model. Well, I don't know if they call it a unicorn, but it's support, right? It's a support setup. So even though we didn't get that break and retest, we got a London's high break and retest, which also serves as good support. So with all that being said, that's really an A+ setup. I'm not gonna lie, A+ continuation model for me. London liquidity support service resistance. But yeah, this would have been, only reason why I'm not gonna say A+, because I didn't get a break and retest, a clean break and retest on this fair value gap right here. But I am gonna say it's an A setup because I had a draw on liquidity already up here, right? We definitely didn't have to catch that whole move. We could have definitely just caught our 60 points that we usually aim for and had a good target, but we wanted to get a good 1 to 2 risk to reward ratio. We could have gotten our 70 points and just been cool right there. But this would have been an A+ setup for sure if I had taken this trade live. Excuse me, not an A+, but an A setup. Price came close enough to this fair value gap for me to just make a educated decision and not be too rigid and just jump into the market. But I really wanted to make sure I discussed that me not showing up to the markets is okay. It was good for me, and it's giving me an opportunity to show up to the markets tomorrow with a more refreshed mindset. And just, I also want to discuss this before because the trade is pretty much done. So I hope y'all understood that, and I hope that made sense. But the trade is pretty much done. So now let me talk about this. So I also want to discuss that tomorrow I'm fully aware that the lights went off. Maybe I should cut it. Cool. All right. Tomorrow I'm fully aware that even though I chose today to make the most decision that served me best mentally, right? Even though today was one of those days where my trade, it was an A setup, basically almost an A+ setup, and my trade went 150 points. Even though I know that today was a day that I could have made progress towards my 100K eval, right? And gotten a little bit closer to getting my payout, just passing my account. Even though I still have to tell myself that I made the right decision today. It was a no news Monday. I was already stressed out about what I had going on in my regular life. Probabilities for today, even though it played out, probabilities for today statistically wasn't in my favor. So why not just come to the market and take the day off? Come to the market afterward and just work. You're still working, right? That was the smart thing to do. Even if I choose to show up tomorrow when I'm starting my day off right, go to the gym, eat breakfast, even if I do all that, pray, read the Bible, even if I do all of that, right? And then tomorrow is a day where I follow my exact same strategy and I use my exact same confluences to enter the trade and get out of a trade. If I do the same thing that I would have done today, tomorrow, and I lose, that's okay. That's okay, and I'm telling my mind to not crash out because I know this is how it goes. I don't show up and trade on a day where we have a good trade. The next day I show up trying to make sure I make up for the wins that I could have received the day before, and then I show up this same day trying to make that and what I want to make for the current day, and then price will do pullback. I'll wind up getting stopped out, and then I'll crash and blow an account. So before that even happens, I'm having to talk to myself to tell myself, if tomorrow is a losing day, even though you show up and you prep and you do everything right and you follow your strategy, that is okay. Even though today was a day you could have made progress toward passing your account, it's not even about passing the account anymore. It's about building a certain level of trust and respect within yourself that is like, all right, whether I pass an account or not, I'm a trader. I'm not a gambler. I'm not a degenerate. I'm not somebody that's thirsty to make money or prove a point or fulfill my ego. I want to become a better trader every day. So that's what it's about. If I lose tomorrow and I do everything right, it's still a win. So that's a full, complete trade breakdown. 30 minutes of me going through my charts, breaking down my thought process behind taking the trade, my psychology for the day. Man, it's BFC trading, y'all. I'm trying to get locked in. I want this shit so bad. It's the only thing that's gonna just bring me healing and besides God, with everything I have been through. So I really want to just really lock in. And I mean, by any means necessary. I'm just really on that type of time when it comes to this right now. So I'll see y'all tomorrow. Talking over our Psych for tomorrow. Tomorrow we may actually go through a sheet. Hopefully I get a chance to take a good trade, and another day just trying to come back and shake back, man. The righteous falls 7 times, but he shall rise again. So, man, starting over, bro. It's day one. We locked in.